Friends, in this lecture, I am going to tell you about the phenotypic value and population mean. So, till now we have studied about in population genetics about the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. You know how to define a population in terms of gene and genotypic frequency. Then you studied the rule, that is law, uh, as explained by Hardy and Weinberg, which tells that gene and genotypic frequency remains constant from generation to generation. But now it's time to associate between the genotypic frequency and the phenotypic value of a particular trait or a trait that is expressed in the population. So let us start with the phenotypic value. So here we have already seen that genetic properties of a population are expressible in terms of gene and genotypic frequency. So we have already seen when we are defining a population, we are interested to know what is the gene frequency or genotype frequency in that particular population. So now, in order to deduce the connection, you have to deduce the connection between these on one hand, that means gene and genotypic frequency on one hand, and the quantitative differences exhibited in metric trait on the other hand. That means, suppose in a population, the gene there is gene P is the frequency of dominant gene and Q is the frequency of recessive gene. Similarly, the P square, 2PQ and Q square is the genotypic frequency of dominant homozygote, heterozygote and recessive homozygote respectively. Now, suppose the trait for which frequency we have already explained, suppose that trait is milk yield. So now you want to see the quantitative difference between the milk yield of these the animals, between the quantitative difference between the animals. So what we know on one hand that there is genotypic difference between the animals. Now on the other hand, you are having phenotypic difference or quantitative difference between the traits. So now you want to associate the genotypic frequency with that particular trait or phenotypic value of that trait. So for that you have to know about the phenotypic value. So there is need of other measures like, so for that, if you want to correlate between these two, that is genotypic frequency and the phenotypic value, so for that you need means, variance, covariance, etc. So these measures we have already studied in the statistics. So all of which are based on the measurement of phenotypic value. So for measuring any phenotypic value, you have already studied that we are explaining that in terms of mean, that means measure of central tendency or measures of dispersion. So now we will see what are the different components of phenotypic value. So Johansson states that phenotypic value is joint product of genotype and environment. So in many times I have already discussed with you in my previous lectures that phenotype of a particular individual is composed of two components. The first component is genotype, the gene or the genetic composition of that particular animal, and also the environment that a particular animal is facing. That means when genotype is associated with environment, that will give you the phenotype. So what is genotypic value? So this means that phenotypic value is composed of two parts, the genotype and phenotype. So what is genotypic value? So genotypic value is the value of character attributable to genes effect. The value of character attributable to genes effect, it is particular assemblage of gene possessed by the individual. So a particular individual, how the genes are assembled there in that particular individual, the composition of gene or the arrangement of gene in that particular individual is associated with some values. So those values are known as genotypic values. In a similar way, environmental deviation. So what is why it is called as environmental deviation? Because the thing that means in an individual who is possessing a particular gene, he has to express that particular character. But due to presence of certain environment, there is certain kind of deviation between the expressed value and the capacity of that particular individual to express the value. So that deviation is known as environmental deviation. That is why, since it is deviating the expression, that is why it is called as environmental deviation. So environment is, what is environment? It is all non-genetic circumstances. So everything where gene is not involved, everything where genes are not involved is known as non-genetic factor or non-genetic circumstances. The environment is all non-genetic circumstances that modifies the genotypic value before the character is finally expressed. So before expression of that particular character, environment modifies the expression of that character, and that modification is known as environmental deviation. So I think you get clear-cut idea about the component of phenotypic value, which is mainly two: genotypic value and environmental deviation. Now, in this slide, okay. Now, if you see in mathematical form, you can keep the environment to cause deviation. That is, we have already studied that environment is causes deviation in the genotypic value, and that is why it is termed as environmental deviation. If you see mathematically, P is equal to G plus E, that means phenotypic value is equal to genotype and environment. The environmental effects are measured as deviation, and sum of the mean deviation is always 0. So, as I have already discussed, that environmental effects are measured as deviation because it modifies or it deviates the original expression. So that is why it is written as deviation. And we have already studied, just try to remember the absolute mean deviation class. When in statistics I was discussing about the absolute mean deviation, in that lecture I had discussed that whenever you are taking the mean of the deviation, then sum of the mean of deviation will always be 0. So that is why the sum of the mean of environmental deviation will be 0. So in case if you want to see the mean phenotypic value, so mean phenotypic value will always be equal to mean genotypic value. Why? Because there will be no environmental deviation. Because the environmental deviation, sometime it will be in the positive side, sometime it will be in the negative side. So overall it will be cancelled out. So overall the environmental deviation, all the plus environmental deviation will be cancelled out by all the minus environmental deviation. So now another term associated with it is the interaction between, another term which is associated with genotype and environment is the interaction between genotype and environment. That is denoted by IgE, which is also known as genotype environment interaction. So we will study this in under the heading dependence between genotype and environment. Genotype and environment, dependence of genotype and on environment. So differential response of different genotype under different environment is called a genotype environment interaction. So what this line wants to tell that there are various genotypes. Suppose you are having two genotypes. One is capital AA and another is capital A small a. So this capital AA is responding very well to a particular environment. Or you just may think that some people like cold environment and some people like hot environment. So the cold environment will be favorable to that particular genotype, and it will be unfavorable for another genotype. Suppose the A genotype is having liking of cold environment, and capital A small a genotype is having liking of hot environment. So this capital A genotype will be having advantage if the environment is cold, and it will be disadvantageous for capital A small a. So the genotype capital capital A will perform better if the environment is cold. So this is called a genotype environment interaction. Although that particular individual was having, genotypically it was having less capacity, but since it get environment which is of his liking, his or her liking, so that particular individual perform better. So that is called a genotype environment interaction. So there is another component for phenotype value is the phenotype is equal to genotype plus environmental deviation plus genetic environment interaction. Now if you see the genotypic value, the genotypic value can further be divided into G is equal to A plus D. A is the additive genetic variance or value, and D is the dominance deviation. So what is additive genetic variance? Suppose you are having a genotype capital A. Another you are having genotype capital A, small a, and another genotype is small a. Suppose capital A is contributing 1 unit to a particular trait, and small a is, or capital A is contributing 2 unit and small a is contributing 1 unit. So capital A genotype will express 4 unit, 2 plus 2, whereas capital A small a will express, it should express 3 unit, but it will not express 3 unit, but it will express 5 unit. Why? Because of dominance. So this capital A is dominating the small a, and they are having expression better than the homozygote, either of homozygote. So this betterness is due to the dominance deviation. So you know the genotype is, so just remember again, capital A. So 1 A is contributing 2 unit, so total 4 unit. So what it indicates here, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So if this kind of interaction is there, capital A genes are there, then they are getting added together. So this is called as additive genetic value. Similarly, small a, if small a is contributing 1 unit, so 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 unit. So this is also coming under the additive genetic value. Whereas if you see capital A, small a, it should express 3 unit, but it is expressing 5 unit. So what is this? It is dominance, because A is dominating over, capital A is dominating over small a. So this is called as dominance deviation. So this is very important for breeding purpose. Why? Because additive genetic inheritance, additive genetic value is getting transmitted to next generation. Additive genetic value is getting transmitted to next generation, because even if this separate, even at the time of segregation, if these two alleles is getting separated, the value of these two alleles will not be changed. Whereas if you consider this dominance deviation condition, in the next generation, if this is getting separated at the time of segregation, suppose this capital A now meet with capital A, so there will not be any dominance, and this small a will meet with small a, then again there will not be any dominance. So this dominance deviation is not getting transmitted to the next generation. That means every time there will be new combination of alleles. So the dominance deviation we cannot predict. It will solely depend on the chance, which allele is meeting with which another allele. Okay, so that is why additive genetic value is getting transmitted to next generation, whereas dominance deviation is not getting transmitted to next generation. So that is why this additive genetic value is also known as breeding value. Why breeding value? Because we are this component only is getting transmitted to next generation. So some people may be thinking that genotypic value, that means it is under the control of gene, so it should be getting transmitted to next generation, but not all the component of genetic value is getting transmitted to next generation, because there are many combination which is getting uh, expressed at that particular generation only. It is not getting transmitted to next generation because of crossing over or law of segregation, principle of segregation, which you have already studied. Similar to this, there is one more component which is called as I. I is called as interaction. So this dominance was also interaction, but it is intraallelic interaction, whereas this I is called as interallelic interaction. So you have already studied in the Mendel's, when you were studying about the monohybrid inheritance. At that time you might have studied about the monohybrid and dihybrid inheritance. At that time you might have studied about the intraallelic interaction and interallelic interaction. So under interallelic interaction, you might have studied about the epistasis. This is also a temporary combination of allele, which are not present on the same locus. So this epistasis is also not a permanent combination, but it is a temporary combination in that particular generation, and it is not getting transmitted to next generation. Why? Because of the phenomena of crossing over. So suppose these two genes, this is epistatic to this particular gene, but in next generation there will be crossing over at this point. So this gene will go somewhere and this gene will go somewhere, and in the next generation this epistasis effect will not be there. So we can say that not all component of genotypic value is getting transmitted to next generation. Only additive genetic value is getting transmitted to next generation, and this additive genetic value is known as breeding value. So we will study again about the breeding value. So I hope now you might be in a position to explain what is phenotypic value, what are the components of phenotypic value, and what are the components of genetic value also, and why mean environmental deviation is considered to be 0, and why mean phenotypic value is equal to mean genotypic value. So now in this slide we'll see about the population mean. So now you know the gene frequency, genotypic frequency, you know the phenotypic value. So now it's time to find out the population mean. So the population mean is denoted by capital M. Population mean for a quantitative trait. So what we are doing, we are finding out the population mean for a particular trait. So what is this? The population mean for a quantitative trait is the mean of phenotypic values of all individuals belonging to different genotype. So what you have to do, you have to find out the mean of all the genotype. Suppose you are having 3 genotypes. If you are considering single locus, 2 allele. So in that case you will have 3 genotype. So you are having 3 genotype. Suppose capital A, small a, and small a, small a. And you are having the phenotypic value also. Phenotypic value for all the 3 genotypes. So now you want to find out the mean. So you have already studied about the weighted mean. Actually, when you are trying to find out the population mean, you have to go for the finding out the weighted mean, because there are different gene frequency for different genotype. So you have to, as per frequency, you have to find out the weighted mean. So here you just see there are 3 genotype: capital A1, A1A1, A1A2, and A2A2. And what are the gene frequency? P square, 2pq, q square. Now what are the value? So we have given value A to dominant genotype and D dominance deviation for heterozygote and minus A for recessive genotype. So now frequency into value. We want to find out the genotypic value. You want to find out the weighted mean. So you have to multiply the frequency with value. So P square A into P square A, then the second one 2pqd, and third one minus q square A. So now you have to sum all these three. So P square A plus 2pqd minus q square A divided by total number of or total frequency. So what will be the total frequency? P square plus 2pq plus q square, it will be equal to 1. So that is why here this will be divided by 1. So 1 is having no meaning. So what we will do here, you can add this one, P square A plus 2pqd plus minus q square A. Now P square A minus q square A. So you take A as a common. So it will be P square minus q square. P square minus q square plus 2pqd. So you can write P square minus q square, you can write as P plus q into P plus q into P minus q. P plus q into P minus q. So you know P plus q is equal to 1. So it will go. So now A into P minus q. A into P minus q, because P plus q will be 1. So A into P minus q plus 2pqd is equal to M. So this will be equal to the population mean. So finally you have to remember the formula for population mean. So population mean M is equal to A into P minus q plus 2pqd. What is A? A is the genotypic value of the dominant genotype. P is the frequency of dominant allele, Q is the frequency of recessive allele, and D is the dominance deviation. So this is how we can find the population mean, and this is how you can know about the population mean of a population having different genotypes. So now in the next class we will see about the average effect of gene, and finally we will see the breeding value in view of today's class. So thank you. If you have any query, you can ask me on my email or on the comment section. Thanks a lot.